Hiya. My name is Robosplat. I have a brother named Digital. I once had a unique and creepy experience involving a Season 2 disc of Drake and Josh. I was at a yard sale in Salem, New Hampshire. I saw a disc of Drake and Josh Season 2 and thought I should buy it. I approached a tall, slender woman who was running the sale. She wore a pinstripe suit and was sipping a glass of water. She asked what the matter was, and I just said I was hoping to buy the DVD and asked how much it was. She said I could have it for free. I said I'll buy it and walked off with the DVD. As I left, I could have sworn I heard her say, "Thank God that's off my hands," but it had to be my imagination. I got home and sat down on the couch, just looking at the disc. It was in almost perfect condition and I got it for free. It showed Drake and Josh just standing next to each other in an outside environment. Upon closer examination I saw Megan standing in the far distance with her arms folded and a creepy grin on her face. I didn't care why, so I just proceeded to open the case. Inside was the disc. The disc had "special copy" written in Sharpie on it, so I was left wondering why it was special. Maybe it contained bonus material? Maybe someone just decided to write that to get the buyer's hopes up. I didn't know. I popped it into the TV and went into episode select. Since Season 2 was the second season, I wanted to watch the last episode, which I was very fond of. It was there, but what I saw interested me more. There was an episode after it. The episode was called Megan's Big Day. I assumed maybe it was bonus material. I thought maybe it was a planned episode and was cancelled, and this DVD might have been the only known recording of it. With that thought in mind, I jumped up and let out a weird, geekish squeal. I was fooled completely. I almost immediately selected the episode. The intro started up as usual. However, the song playing on the intro seemed to be slower than usual, and the singing was deeper. Very slightly though. I thought my mind was just playing tricks on me. The episode started up with a panoramic shot of the outside of their house. Then it showed Drake and Josh in their room. Drake was playing the guitar on the couch and Josh was pacing back and forth, reading a textbook out loud. Drake asked Josh to stop reading out loud, and then Josh asked Drake to stop playing his guitar so loud. They got into an argument as usual, bickering, the both of them. I was left wondering why the episode was called Megan's Big Day. Suddenly, Walter burst into the room and started screaming at them, telling them to stop arguing and that Megan was trying to practice her oboe in the living room. They said they were sorry, and then they got into an argument with Walter. Keep in mind, I'm giving you the abridged version. They argued for about 3 minutes. I was getting bored when I suddenly heard the mom's voice. She just yelled, "Downstairs, now." This is when the episode took an unexpected turn. Upon going downstairs, Megan and her mom were sitting at the table with a demonic, creepy grin. The same grin on the cover of the DVD case, I thought. Megan said nothing but, "Hi. Boobs," and started hyperventilating. One thing I realized was that their eyes were very shiny, glazed over, and looked almost possessed. I was pretty freaked out by now. I could do nothing but think about what the lady that ran the yard sale said, "Thank God that's off my hands." The mom began to hyperventilate too. Drake, Josh and Walter stood there, looking scared out of their minds. Suddenly the screen faded to black. I assumed that would be where the commercial break would be to run. But what faded back still creeps me out to this day. What faded back was a picture of Drake and Josh. But one thing was off. They were both hung on a tree branch. Their eyes were shut and their faces were pale. Megan was seen standing next to them with the same demonic smile. But the one weird thing was that it was a still image. It faded away, to fade back as the show again. Drake, Josh and Walter were slowly backing away as Megan and the mom rose slowly from their chairs. The mom quietly said, "So Megan, tell the nice boys about the news." Megan twitched and said nothing. She slowly took her oboe out from behind her back and approached Drake, Josh, and Walter. Walter had ran out of the room as soon as she did. She suddenly ran at the two, screaming bloody murder. She began whacking Drake in the head, Josh staring in awe, too shocked to do anything. I cringed when Drake's head started bleeding and he fell to the floor. Josh squealed and the screen faded to black again. Knowing something terrible would fade back, I prepared for the worst. The screen faded back to show Drake's bloodied body lying on the living room floor, an oboe lying next to him. Once again, it was a still image. What faded back was footage of Josh being bludgeoned with Megan's oboe, and the mom was kicking him over and over again. Megan eventually cracked his neck, and Josh fell to the floor. Megan and her mom cackled an evil laugh and, suddenly, a still shot of Drake and Josh's bloodied bodies next to each other flashed on screen. Thankfully I didn't see it long because the DVD player and the TV just shut off. I picked up the DVD and looked at it. Instead of saying, "Special Copy," it said, "Doom." Just, Doom. The TV turned back on and simply said, "Turn around," in black text. I just had to turn around. Behind me I saw Megan holding an oboe. I jumped about 50 feet in the air and my heart started beating rapidly. She had a green face, scarred on the cheek. She looked like a zombie. She hissed, the loudest hiss I've ever heard in my life, and attempted to stick the oboe into my chest. I swerved at the last minute, screaming my head off, and dashed towards my workshop. Upon entering the workshop I sat and caught my breath. I took the nearest hammer and dashed back to the living room. Megan was standing with an angry face, her oboe in her left hand. I took the DVD and smashed it into pieces with the hammer. Almost immediately she faded out and, with the loudest scream I ever heard, disintegrated. Ever since then I looked back at that experience as the scariest and most unbelievable thing that's ever happened to me. I visited the house where the yard sale took place to find out that the owners had moved away, and that the house just looked like a barren hunk of wood. This experience is still not explained and I could find no information about Megan's big day anywhere on the internet.